A very good morning, Team Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. Suspected ZANU PF rogues disrupted PVO bill hearing in Harare, and they actually declared war on the people of Zimbabwe by their actions. Remember, the PVO bill is supposed to go to the people. It's supposed to have a hearing, and after the hearing, then the parliamentarians will take into consideration the submissions by the people and make the final decisions. And they have resorted in violent attacks in areas where they know that this bill is going to likely face a backlash, especially in the urban areas, because these are areas where people go to contribute meaningfully during these hearings. If you go to the rural areas, sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes they do not reach rural areas, and when they did so, these are programmed people who are always attending there, the majority of them. And as usual, the opposition people will be victimized and will be in fear. But what is of concern at this moment in time, or at this point in time, is that ZANU PF deployed a team of hooligans. This is the picture right here on the screen. This is a team which was deployed at a certain hotel in Harare, and they disrupted everything. So the report says suspected ZANU PF supporters on Friday disrupted a public hearing on the highly divisive private voluntary organizations PVO amendment bill at Harare Ambassador Hotel, forcing its abandonment. The hostile group's members took turns to voice their support for the government-sponsored draft legislation, viewed by the opposition and civil society as an attempt by ZANU PF-led authority to meddle into the affairs of NGOs that have kept the state under scrutiny in terms of rights violations and poll fraud, among other violations. Things came to a head when the rogues did not take kindly to an opposing contribution by a member of civil society who was a part of the tense deliberations. Soon, the room was drawn in chants which were in denunciation of those opposed to the controversial law. Vasingade ngavabude mZimbabwe. Be ready to read Zimbabwe. Dissenters should leave the country. We want our bill. They chanted in scenes and spewed outside the building. Members of the Joint Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, and the Thematic Committee on Gender Development, who were conducting the hearing, had to leave the venue quickly before the mayor. In Masvingo, on Thursday, parliamentarians and members of the public who were attending the consultative meeting had to scurry for safety after fighting broke out between supporters and those with opposing view of the bill. Several people were reportedly injured. So this is what is happening. The same happened in Chinhoyi, and suspected political activists confronted each other and disrupted proceedings. In Harare, only 5 ZANU PF supporters gave their views in support of the bill, uninterrupted, but denied passionate foes of the Zimbabwe Human Rights Monitors Forum an opportunity to reject the legislation. So you'd see that this is the problem which is happening, and as usual, ZANU PF will come, will disrupt things, will cause war. They will declare war on everybody. They will declare war on everything. This is the kind of people we are living with at this point in time. And it's like that. This is a direct confrontation to the rights of the people. This is a direct war declared to the people of Zimbabwe. If they can do this in Harare, what more will they do? So, we have seen all these things happening before, and they are continuing to happen, which shows that it's difficult for us in Zimbabwe to actually talk about democracy. It is going to be very difficult for the people of Zimbabwe to talk about a committed government, which is going to actually make sure that they focus on developing Zimbabwe. It's said that these are the things which are celebrated in other areas or in other quarters. They always celebrate mediocrity. But it is what it is. We continue to watch and see what is happening in this nation called Zimbabwe. So let us continue to watch and see and we'll be giving you updates about this thing which is happening. And this is the beginning of suppression of voters' voices, because the NGOs played a critical part in making sure that they deal with these issues. So, for example, I can tell you that we have the doctors, Zimbabwe Human Rights Doctors Association, which represented victims of political torture. So, if this PVO bill passes, it means Zimbabwe human rights doctors will not be able to operate in Zimbabwe, or will not be allowed to operate in Zimbabwe. We always had NGOs like Zimbabwe Human Rights Forum, who would stand with the opposition activists after they are brutally attacked, or anybody whose rights have been dismantled. They would stand with everybody. We have seen them going to stand with the people who have been evicted. Several people have gotten help from these people. And these are groupings which are being targeted to be closed, because ZANU-PF believes that these are people who are continuously representing people and actually obstructing its quest to fully explore one-party state. So this is the problem which you have, and whoever tries to stand against ZANU-PF will suffer the consequences, and we are seeing the consequences right away for the PVOs. So we'll continue to monitor and see the situation in Zimbabwe, and ZANU-PF is deliberately declared war on the citizens, has deliberately declared war on everybody. It is what it is. Let us meet another episode.